Behold, here are the 20 most astonishing last-minute moments in the world of football. Our journey begins with a flashback to El Clasico in 2017. As the clock ticked down, it appeared that both teams were content with sharing a point. Then, out of nowhere,
It's Messi!
Messi unleashed his magic. Unstoppable! Messi's reputation for delivering game-winning goals is well known, but what unfolded next was beyond anyone's wildest imagination. Enter Allison. A name you didn't hear to expect. Picture this: a mere 17 seconds into injury time, Allison seemingly defies the laws of gravity, securing a jaw-dropping victory with his forehead. The stage now shifts to Toby Alderweireld,
Maakt zich vrij. Alderweireld trapt. Het is
the hero of Antwerp, whose goal in the 93rd minute brought them their first title in 66 long years. The eruption of joy from fans was a sight to behold. It's a tale that instantly transports us back to the unforgettable moment when Lucas Moura held the world in suspense. With 90 minutes gone and the scoreboard level, Lucas Moura stepped into the spotlight. Ajax was mere seconds away from a coveted spot in the 2019 Champions League final, but Lucas Moura had other plans.
Here's Lucas Moura.
His performance propelled Spurs into the final and is still regarded as one of the most impactful hat-tricks of the decade. But when it comes to game-changing goals, let's not forget Ronaldo, who graced us with his brilliance in 2021. Let's revisit the clash between Manchester United and Villarreal. There was great excitement as the Portuguese superstar got ready to play at Old Trafford for a Champions League night. However, after a rather disappointing 90 minutes that ended in a 1-1 draw, Ronaldo decided to summon one final burst of determination and found the back of the net.
Knocks it down. Lingard. Ronaldo!
Unfortunately, their Champions League journey was cut short by Atletico in the next round. But winning a trophy is no small feat, as Dortmund can confirm. Speaking of unforgettable moments, think back to the 2013 Champions League final, where Arjen Robben left his mark on history at the expense of Dortmund. The Dutch winger first played the role of provider, setting up Mandžukic's goal in the 60th minute, but Dortmund quickly responded with an equaliser just 8 minutes later. As both teams pushed themselves to the limit and fans held their breath, it was a season where Bayern Munich had dominated the Bundesliga, holding a significant 25-point lead over Dortmund. Yet hope persisted as the game appeared headed for extra time. Or so it seemed. In a twist of fate, the 88th minute witnessed a moment of sheer brilliance as the often injury-prone man Robben delivered the defining goal of his illustrious career.
Well, Robben is there! Arjen Robben!
In a different setting, goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel is renowned not just for his remarkable saves or his icon card, but also for being Kasper Schmeichel's father. His illustrious career spanned the 1990s and early 2000s, during which he achieved the remarkable feat of winning the Premier League 5 times with Manchester United. However, one of the standout moments in his career occurred in 2001 when he was part of Aston Villa's squad and was summoned for a crucial corner kick opportunity in the 90th minute. What a goal! Let's dive into the world of dramatic last-minute winners. And not just any winners, but ones that unfolded in high-stakes derby matches. Take the case of Van Persie, the Dutch striker who made quite the entrance. Remarkably, he had recently turned down a jaw-dropping £300,000 weekly salary from Manchester City and, instead, decided to join United during the summer of 2012. So, a few months later, when he took the field for his very first Manchester derby, clad in the iconic red, the atmosphere was nothing short of electric, adding an extra layer of intensity to the already fierce rivalry. Both sides poured their hearts and souls into the match, resulting in a nail-biting 2-2 draw after an exhausting 92 minutes of play. Interestingly, Van Persie hadn't managed to find the back of the net up until that point. However, destiny had other plans in store. He found himself perfectly positioned for a game-changing free kick opportunity during stoppage time in his inaugural Manchester derby. When he connected with the ball from the ideal spot, the execution was nothing short of flawless. It was Van Persie. What an unforgettable night it turned out to be.
Van Persie took a deflection. Oh, he's done it!
Now, let's transport ourselves to the story of Benfica, a club that had been yearning for European glory for a whopping 51 years. Their last taste of such triumph was way back in 1962 when the legendary Eusebio graced the football pitch. Fast forward to 2013 and Benfica found themselves on the cusp of the Europa League final, facing off against Chelsea. To heighten the drama, Chelsea's skipper and defensive stalwart John Terry was sidelined due to injury, giving Benfica a glimmer of hope. As the clock ticked away, with 68 minutes on the scoreboard, both teams managed to breach the opposition's defences. The tension in the stadium was palpable. Cardozo dared to take a shot from beyond the penalty area, while Lampard unleashed an absolute thunderbolt that rattled the woodwork, sending a collective gasp through the stands. Then, in the waning moments of stoppage time, Chelsea was granted a vital corner kick. This presented their last chance to secure victory against the Portuguese side before potentially heading into extra time.
Ivanovic is above everyone!
What unfolded next was a beautifully executed header that left fans in awe. But that's just the tip of the iceberg compared to what happened when a then 33-year-old Rooney displayed his incredible skills and delivered one of the most stunning assists in MLS history.
Rooney!
Let's rewind the clock and take a look at who's leading the race in the opposite direction. It's none other than Wayne Rooney himself, and he's charging forward with determination. As he approaches, he makes a robust defensive challenge and makes an assist. The goal is gaping wide open. What ensues is an absolutely remarkable effort. However, it's important to note that this extraordinary feat occurred within the realm of MLS, where the pressure was undoubtedly significant, but perhaps not as nerve-wracking as what unfolded in the 2014 Champions League final. This legendary clash pitted Real against Atletico and is etched in history as one of the most gripping finals ever witnessed. Atletico had just clinched La Liga with a mere 3-point margin, separating them from Barcelona and Real. So, when both teams hailing from the Spanish capital battled their way to the final, anticipation reached a fever pitch. And how could it not? Real fielded some of the most iconic players in the club's storied history that day. However, the plot took a turn when Atletico seized the lead in the 35th minute. Even though Ronaldo put forth Herculean efforts to find the equaliser, fate seemed determined to keep the ball out of the net. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Real was granted a divine blessing in the form of 5 minutes of injury time and one last opportunity in the form of a corner kick. What unfolded next was nothing short of extraordinary, as Sergio Ramos achieved the unimaginable. But that's nothing compared to the 4-0 thrashing Barcelona suffered at the hands of PSG back in February 2017. Suarez, Neymar and Messi, the star trio, were utterly helpless in the French capital as Di Maria single-handedly tore apart their defences. After that brutal 4-0 defeat, Barcelona needed nothing short of a miracle to secure a spot in the Champions League quarter-finals. So, on the 8th of March, they rolled up their sleeves and got to work. Suarez led the challenge with a fantastic goal, putting Barcelona 1-0 ahead. Then, thanks to an own goal by Cajava, their lead extended to 2-0. Next up was Messi, who worked his magic and made it 3-0. but Cavani managed to claw one back for PSG, meaning Barcelona still needed to score 2 more goals instead of 3. As the clock ticked down to the 88th minute, Barcelona fans were in a state of despair. However, luck finally smiled upon them when Neymar pulled off an incredible free kick, bringing the score to 4-1, and that's when things took a wild turn. In the 91st minute, a crucial penalty was awarded, resulting in a thunderous 5-1 scoreline. Barcelona now needed just 1 more goal to secure their place in the quarter-finals. And in the 95th minute, with everything hanging in the balance, Sergio Roberto stepped up to the plate. He elegantly manoeuvred onto his left foot and unleashed a shot that sent shockwaves throughout the football world. This was undoubtedly the most important goal of his career. The same holds true for Torres. Following a hard-fought 1-0 victory in London, Chelsea seemed poised to oust Barca from the Champions League. However, their return to Spain took a dramatic turn as they quickly found themselves in a predicament where captain John Terry received a red card. Barca capitalised on the situation, surging to a 2-0 lead. Yet the game was far from decided. Ramirez, with a strike seconds before half-time, narrowed the margin to 2-1. Despite being reduced to 10 players, Chelsea valiantly defended against Barca's onslaughts. However, they still needed 1 more goal to secure a coveted ticket to the final. This is when Roberto Di Matteo, making one of the most pivotal decisions in his coaching career, summoned Torres from the bench. And in a thrilling turn of events, Torres went on to score what would become his most legendary last-minute goal ever.
Of the season, it's Torres to give Chelsea a place.
Speaking of World Cups, let's turn our attention to the 2014 World Cup final showdown between Germany and Argentina. As the global audience braced itself for an impending penalty shootout, Mario Götze had a surprise in store.
Sting and his Götze!
He took matters into his own hands and, in a moment of brilliance, clinched the 2014 World Cup for Germany all by himself. Lastly, there's nothing quite like the thrill of this unforgettable moment. Picture this. It's the final match of the 2012 season, a game with immense importance. Manchester City had to win this match. Otherwise, their rivals Manchester United would snatch the league title from their grasp. It was a high-stakes showdown and every moment was filled with suspense. Manchester City didn't waste any time and managed to score early in the game, giving hope to their fans. However, the rollercoaster of emotions was far from over. Queen's Park Rangers, against all expectations, made a stunning comeback. It felt like City's hopes were slipping away. But just when things seemed to be at their worst, a glimmer of hope emerged. Edin Dzeko was brought into the game, and what he did next became legendary. David Silva crossed the ball into the box and Dzeko rose to the occasion, heading it into the net. Suddenly despair turned into sheer joy. The fans who supported Manchester United, thinking they had the league title secured, were left in disbelief. But the drama wasn't over yet. Everything hinged on Sergio Aguero in the final moments. With immense pressure on his shoulders, he had one chance to make history, and what he did next was nothing short of extraordinary. So, these were the last minute winners. Do subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. We will catch you in the next one.